What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reading your assumptions about us.
Before we get this one started, if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you've already been rocking with us for a while, thank you so much. Let's get into it.
I asked you guys on my Instagram to submit your assumptions about us, more so towards the fact that we got married young. So a lot of these are going to be about our relationship and then just assumptions in general that people have about people that get married early in life. So I'm excited to read them all. So the first one, you got married because you were pregnant.
That's what I think when I see other people get married.
So obviously that wasn't true in our case, but we did get that a lot. I remember when we got engaged.
Especially from older people. I feel like older people are like, oh, you're getting married young.
She must be pregnant.
You have a kid or stuff like that.
I remember when we got engaged, people had like group texts and stuff about us, and I saw one of the things somebody said was,
oh, she must be pregnant.
I'm not pregnant, never was pregnant.
Yet. But that's just, I think that's just a common thing. I don't know. When I see other people our age, like we went to high school. When I see other people our age that we went to high school with.
You nasty.
When I see other people our age that we went to high school with getting married, there's always that thought in the back of my head like, oh, she might be pregnant.
Yeah, I guess people do assume that when people get engaged out of nowhere. That wasn't true in our case, but that actually brings me to the next one. You guys get asked when you're going to have kids a lot.
Yes, definitely my parents. Not so much your parents, but my grandma, every time she's like,
when am I gonna have some grandkids coming in?
Everyone at my work is always asking me when I'm gonna have kids, and for us, that actually was another assumption. People said you'd rather travel than have kids right now, and I think that's more true to us right now.
Obviously if we had kids it wouldn't be like the end of the world, but we're just trying to be responsible and wait to a point in our life where we're ready to have kids and be able to provide. It's not that we don't want to have kids, we're just waiting. I want to have kids. I would have kids right now. I already tell her I want to.
Watch us do this video and then I like get pregnant.
God, that would be crazy, but it wouldn't be a bad thing, but we're just waiting. And I feel like people say that because it's only so many options. Once you get married, it's like the only progression, the next step is to have kids. Like that's the next like milestone in a relationship.
The next one says, once you're married, you can't have fun anymore.
Do people really assume that?
Yeah, they do.
I get that a lot actually.
No, I was gonna say, let's just be super honest. When we got engaged, people did say some mean things about us because we were getting married so young, and I don't think anybody else we knew was getting married. We had people that we knew that were pregnant. I don't think we knew anybody that was engaged and then getting married and then having babies. So
people are always like, not gonna be able to live your life.
A lot of people are saying that like our life was over and that we weren't gonna do any fun things anymore. We weren't gonna go out with people anymore. We weren't gonna have fun, and that's so dumb.
I mean, we don't do the things that single people do at our age.
Yeah.
Like go out drinking all the time and stuff, but we have fun, just not in the same way.
We do things that we get to enjoy together. It's not like we just stopped doing things we wanted to do.
It's funny because we have like older friends and like coworkers that like become friends. We go out with them and stuff. It's funny because I'm usually the youngest one. They're always like,
oh, the married guy has to go home early.
So I want to hang out with my wife. I hate when people say stuff like that.
We still have fun because single people and like people who aren't married, like they kind of hang out with each other and they hang out with their friends more than like, so they think like if you're not hanging out with them, you're not having fun.
It's just relationships in general. Like when you're single, you're able to bond more with other people who are in the same boat as you. It's not that people in relationships don't want to hang out with you or go out as much. It's just your interests are just different.
And it's just like, it's human nature. When you're single, you're looking for a partner. I mean, that's kind of like what the world revolves around. There's events and occasions that you just don't go to when you have a partner, because it's like, why would I go to that? I mean, we go out with our single friends.
Yeah, but when I do that and you're not there, I feel like...
You feel like out of place.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, it feels like everyone has a different motive than you. Like,
yeah. Anyway, the assumption that you can't have fun once you're married is so false. Not
I think
true
it's more
at all.
fun to be married.
Another assumption we got about us being married young is that we got married too young. Who like is somebody to tell somebody else that they're too of anything? You can't tell somebody something about themselves.
Again, I mean, I got that a lot too, and usually it's from the older people. I mean, they are. I mean, they're wiser. They've had more experience and everything, but they haven't experienced our experience, so they can't really say like.
This one actually has some good stories for. I don't get it as much anymore. Like maybe we look a little bit older now, but when we got married, I was 21 and you were 20, and then we look younger younger than we are, so that probably didn't help. But people literally flat out tell me to my face, like, how are you married? You're way too young. There was one specific instance. I was somewhere and this lady comes in and she's talking about how her husband, like, she has to cook and clean for her husband. Basically saying that like being married is the worst, and she's just like, men are like babies, and she was just like talking, like joking about her husband. And so she's like, wait as long as possible to get married. And then my friend was like, oh, she's actually already married. And then the lady, did I tell you this?
No.
She literally comes up to me, she's like,
what?
you're married? And I was like, yeah. And she goes,
didn't you want to like accomplish things before you got married?
What?
and I literally was like,
accomplish things.
I didn't even know what to say. And I was like, excuse me? And she's like, my daughter got married young too, but she achieved things and she did things with her life before she got married. And I was like, that person didn't know me at all. She had no idea what accomplishments meant to me. I feel very accomplished, but she saw me and immediately was like, you must have not accomplished anything like before you got married. But like those type of comments I would get all the time. I have another story. I was somewhere and there was these police officers like talking about Disney and how they love Disney, and so I ended up telling them how I got married through Disney. And then they asked me how old I was and they were like, oh, like you're young, but like it wasn't that big of a deal. And then I walked away to do something and I came back and there was like another guy standing with them. The police officers were like, oh, there she is. And then the guy turns around and he's like, you're married way too young. I literally had never seen this dude in my life.
Like mad almost.
Yeah, I had literally never seen this dude in my life, and he was like, you are way too young to be married. He's like, this was last year, so he's like,
It's 2018.
that was normal back in the day. Why would you get married young now? I think that's my biggest pet peeve, is when people say you're too young. That was the only thing that would actually like start getting to me, is because I would get it so much. I feel like that's no one's place ever to tell you whether you are ready for something or not. And it's funny because all the older people that would tell me like, you're married way too young, like they're usually married as well. And when you ask them, how long have you known your wife? And they'll be like, oh, like 2 or 3 years, 4 years. Isaiah and I have been together double that, but for some reason it's like an issue.
Doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
And
so
people get married like after knowing each other for like a year, 2 years.
Yes, that's, I feel like when they're older, that's so normal. Not that we're encouraging like to get married when you're in high school or anything. I mean, if that's your thing, whatever.
Depends, like.
It's just different for everybody. When you know, you know, and I don't think you being in college and getting married is something people should look down at you for.
I guarantee the statistics for our age being married is like less than a year before you get divorced.
So people make the comment of you're too young. I hate that.
If you're ready, you're ready.
I would never go up to somebody and tell them like you're too old. Anyway, moving on to the next assumption.
Okay, these are good ones.
So this assumption's about you. They assume that you are more cuddly and you love to stay at home.
That's true. Who said that? They don't know me. They don't know me.
They know you, but they don't know you.
That's true. That's because they see me in the video.
That is so not true. No, he's definitely more cuddly than I am. You're more like touchy-feely, but you like to stay at home more. That part's not true.
Yeah, huh?
No, it's not.
If I was playing Fortnite and you're rubbing my feet, that's a perfect night for me.
I don't think it's that you don't like to stay at home, but we're like the same. You don't like to go out more than I like to go out or anything.
Yeah. Whoever said that, you know me, but you don't know me.
They assume that we're gonna be cool parents.
Ooh.
I hope so. I mean, I want to be a cool mom, but not
I
too
feel like
cool
every
though.
parent says that.
Yeah.
I feel like my parents definitely said that.
Your mom's not cool or what?
She tries to be. I'm gonna be strict.
You are gonna be strict?
Of course.
We have a dog and we already like parent our dog differently, so imagine when we have kids, like, I'm scared. Another one we got was your parents frowned upon it. That is kind of true.
Your dad definitely was not happy.
Yeah.
My mom did say I was too young because I was only 20.
No, babe, you would propose
19.
when you were 18.
Shut.
So my parents are super like traditional, and and old school. My dad is the type of person where like when we would go on vacations, like we had to sleep in separate beds, and like when I would go on vacation with him, like there had to be other people coming on the trip too. Like it couldn't just be us two.
When we were dating, I wasn't even allowed to go in the room with the door shut.
Yeah, I feel like that's
how
normal.
your parents were.
Yeah, I feel like that's that's normal.
I mean, that's normal, but we were 18.
We were in high school. Okay, he's saying that like when we were in high school, when he would come over, first we could only be in the living room, and then after like a year or two of us dating, then we were allowed to go in my bedroom, but we had to be in the room with the door open. I feel like that's normal. When we have kids and say it's a girl, are you gonna let a boy come over and her shut the door?
No.
Okay, yeah. So now you're old school. Getting married and having babies is normal where like my parents are from, so no, they didn't frown upon it in that sense. The way he proposed, we had to leave the state alone together, so he was just like upset about the fact that like we were gonna be spending the night together and we were not engaged. But after that, I mean, now I feel like you're super close with my family.
And my parents didn't really frown upon it. My mom was like happy, but then she also said like,
Are you sure? You're very young. You don't know anything now.
I was like, Mom. Just kidding. I would never
No,
say my
see,
mom.
but
Hard.
so that's gonna conclude this video. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about us. Thank you to all of you who submitted your assumptions. For the most part, a lot of the assumptions we got were very similar to each other, so we only answered a couple. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Before we close out the video, we do need to give our post notification shout out.
Corinna Maurice Wallace.
Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you for commenting. If anybody else would like a post notification shout out, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel, turn your post notifications on, and then comment down below when done.
Easy. Easy peasy.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Peace.